All right, welcome in the crossroads of America. Sorry, I'm confused here, using a different platform than normal. Welcome to my talk show about it's shooting with disabilities, but it's about guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. We'll answer questions from the audience into either in the chat or by email or Rick's Life as I See It at gmail.com or spottedrick at gmail.com. I got a Patreon page, PayPal, and all that other stuff in the info section below. New York Outcast, I can't let him in because it says devices not connected. When I press on it, nothing happens. So, there we go. Anyway, sorry, I'm on Steam. I'm on the Stream Yard tonight, or the Duck, whatever you want to call it, because I usually use GunTube, but it's down for maintenance tonight. So that is why I am here. So just wanted. So I'm a bit. I haven't used this in a long time, so it takes me a few minutes to get back used to it. All right. So at the moment, what was I doing? What did I do first? The people or the guests? I can't remember now. I'm all confused. Let me have a look. It won't. They will need to connect their mic cam before you can add them to the stream. That's what it's telling me. New York Outcast. So I don't know what the hell is going on. So let's have a look. First in the chat tonight, anyway, was Tactical FUD, Kingpin, Jason Stewart, Kevin in New York, Raphael, Gun Snob. Yep, they're starting to come in slowly. My one panelist at the moment is Squibload. How you doing? No, must be working. They're jumping when he gets a chance. Yeah, I also noticed there's a big delay on StreamYard, bigger than on YouTube, because when I got the YouTube chat up here, your info, your whatever you typed shows up. Then about 5 to 10 seconds later, it shows up on the chat on StreamYard. So one of them's behind. So I guess New York Outcast is giving up or trying to come in. Aha! Hang on. We might be in luck. There he is. And another panelist, a New York Outcast. How you doing?
All right. I've had better days, but I'm alive. So sorry for the issues getting in.
That's all right. It's I said my normal platform is under maintenance tonight. That's why I'm having to use this.
All right. For the record, I like the other one better. This one, for some reason, ever since like the new update or something, I can't run my earbuds with it. So on StreamYard. So the other one you use doesn't give me any issues with the earbuds. So. And for some reason now StreamYard wouldn't let me in on my other phone, which I had fully charged, ready to go for this occasion.
Yeah,
so
it would. It kept saying down here not connected. Yeah. So
one of them days.
Yeah, I know. We got up to 96 degrees today, and humid. Oh my God! You stepped out the door. The heat didn't get you. Is that you were wet as soon as you stepped out, from the humidity. It was
yeah.
That's how it goes. Anyway, as I normally start these chats off with trying to do something with disability, that's technically the name of the show, but I know we always drift off. But I got an email the other day from Josh. You remember Josh? If I remember correctly, Josh is the I can't think of his screen name right now, but he was the
Josh Ben Ware or Ben Way or something like that.
He was the ex law that got dragged by the car, if I remember correctly, and he was paralyzed or he could barely walk and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I know
anyway,
what you're talking about. Yeah.
I believe that was Josh. Well, anyway, he sent me an email, said he's where he's at right now. The internet is crappy. That's why he hasn't been on in a long time. But he sent me an email, and I thought I'd bring this up. That he got an email from a friend of his, right? Who is starting a disabled shooting team. I mean, first off, he's starting it for veterans and first responders, but there is openings for civilians on the team too. And let's see, where's he at? Yeah, he's in Alabama right now, but he's just moved to East Tennessee, so he's wondering, is there anybody there in the Southeast who would be interested doing shooting competitions? If you are, let me know, and I will forward this email to you with the info on it. That's all I wanted to say. So if anybody's interested in that, I thought I finally actually got something to actually talk about. I got a topic. So there we go. So anybody out there wants, down sort of East Tennessee in the southern, I would imagine the southeast, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Georgia, South Carolina. I would imagine that sort of area that's what he's looking for. I would imagine people who might be interested. So just email me, let me know, and I'll forward the email to you with the info on it. I didn't want to broadcast it out live on here, just to be on the side. I didn't, addresses and shit like that. It's not my place to. So that's where we're at on that. And what else? Oh, I moved my AR-15 onto the RNLDisplay.com wall mount because I think it looks a hell of a lot better up there, But the desk mount is up there on top of my toolbox. And I think there's 3 loaded 30-round, regular 30-round magazines up there. To me, high capacity to me, I guess, would be a minimum of one of those 100-round drums as high capacity. That would be a minimum. So, but actually, talking about that, I've got, let's see, I got 3 more down here, 3 in there. Yeah, I got about 10 magazines loaded right now with 30 rounds in each one. So I'm ready. I'm ready. Ready for what? I don't know, but I'm ready. And they're all for the best-selling rifle in the United States that everybody seems to hate. I don't know.
A lot of pretenders out there. A lot of pretenders. So.
Yeah. Yep.
They act like they hate it, but till they start playing with one, and then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, oh man. But
Well, I raised my hand. For the first 5 years, I said I don't want one. I don't like them. You can have them. I ain't stopping you from doing it. You know, it's your right, but I don't want one. But my friend said, "Here, shoot mine." I said, "No, I'm not really interested." He kept insisting, and it was. I mean, he was giving me the. He gave me. Well, I think it was three magazines full. He said, "Go on, shoot it." This was before the price increase, of course. He says, "Go ahead and shoot it." So I did, and I fell in love with it. That's why I bought one. It for a, I don't know, would you call it? I mean, for the round itself, to me, I don't, with my arthritis, I get very little recoil with it. So I don't know, but I enjoy shooting it. And now that I got that scope on there, I can get out. I mean, I hit our 130-yard target. I think we got set up in his backyard with ease. Now, believe it or not, I can see it. I can see it without the scope, the target, but I miss it more than I hit it. Put the scope on, and I hit the damn thing every time. So I'm sticking with the scope. So I mean, that's so. How far? I've since I haven't taken it out far. How how far will an AR? I mean, how far will actually if you wanted to go if you went to a range that was 1,000 yards long, what would be sort of like the sort of, I don't know, furthest you could go and hit the target? Well, is 1,000? I mean, is it sort of like 300-400 yard gun, or you can shoot further distances?
you
Talk to
can. I mean, depending on your setup, you can get better distance than that. I would say pretty easily. So, I know military you qualify with what 600 meters, I think it is there.
Okay.
So, I mean, and that's iron sights with moving targets. So, you're pretty much expected if you're halfway decent, you'll hit that. So, 1,000 yard, it's with the 5.56 or 2.23. I think that's pushing it. You probably could do it, but if there's any wind at all, you're gonna have a lot of trouble.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's really intended for that. Maybe Squib's got an opinion on that as well, but that's wind does affect with distance with that caliber. So anything the military, like if you were taking shots like that, you would step up in caliber, or I think anywhere across the board. But for fun or to try, I mean, I think it could be done, but reliably would be a questionable, especially with wind, in my
Yeah.
opinion. I'll leave it to Squib. Maybe he's got as much, or he's got experience with them as well. So
Yeah. So, are you there, Squib?
Yeah,
Do you hear what we were talking about?
yeah.
Any input?
I mean, I guess not.
So, what? I mean, 500-600 yards is sort of like the norm for an AR. Since I've never shot one that far, that's why I was asking. That's all. I was just curious.
So I could probably look it up, but I think that's what's expected, at least as far as military. I don't know. So it's but again, I'm sure people have done amazing things with less. So
Yeah, yeah. I said it. I was just curious, but you know, if I can, I mean, personally myself, if I ever go anywhere that has, a, further distance, I'm going to try it. To go as far as I can get, I guess. See, but there we go. What else
Yeah.
did I want to talk about? There was something else that was on my mind, and I can't remember what it was. Yeah. On a personal note, my doctor is finally. He said you need to go see a rheumatologist because he done a bunch of blood work on me, and he says you got. He used some Latin word, and I don't have a clue what it meant, but he said it's high elevation of this particular I don't know, level of enzyme or whatever in my blood to do with my arthritis. So he wants me to go to a rheumatologist to get checked out, because he said it's beyond his scope as a family doctor. So I said, okay. I said, no problem. Then the nurse gets back to me, goes, oh, but by the way, she goes, there's no rheumatologist in your area. She says the closest we've got is Evansville or Louisville. And they're both roughly from where I'm at. It's about, I mean, give or take a couple of miles to either one. But we're looking around 60 miles one way. So I was working that out in my head, 60 miles one way. So that's 120 miles return. I get on that old truck of mine, I get maybe 12 to 14 miles to the gallon. That's an expensive doctor's trip, at today's prices. So I don't know. They're going to have to give me plenty of notice before I can save the money up. You know what I'm saying? For the gas. Especially if I'm going to, I got to go, but it's,
How many gallons do you think you're going to burn? 10?
well, a minimum of 10, I would say. That
So
old truck of
12
mine
would
only.
equal out 10. If you were getting 12 to the gallon, that would be 10 for 60 miles, I believe. But are you driving on a highway or back roads or
It's interstate most of the way.
and you're still only getting 10 or 12?
Well, might get 14. It's a big old engine in that thing of mine.
Yeah, I'm just
Plus,
damn
it's
shocked.
old. Don't forget, it's a '97.
Yeah, well, I'll get about 16 on the highway myself, but
Well, I might get a
95.
little bit
So,
more, but it ain't no more than 15. I'm sure of it.
okay,
But
yeah.
I think it's around 14 maybe on the highway. So that's going to cost me small, especially at today, unless the prices go down between now and then. They haven't called me with the appointment yet, so I don't know. But I told him go ahead and do it in Evansville because my cousin lives down there, and she's the one who shacks up with the millionaire, so she'll buy lunch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like try somewhere between 40, $50 for your gas round trip. But is there anybody in your family that's local that maybe somebody's got a little car give you a ride? Because it'd be a lot cheaper, probably.
I would have to check. I do have family closer, but it's you know, I'm even though I've lived here almost 3.5 years with my relatives all around me, I still find it hard to ask for help. Believe it or not, you know,
Yeah. I
because
can understand not wanting to or not your style or something, but I mean, it's to be practical, maybe you can call and ask if anybody's heading that way or needs to or something. And I don't know. In a sense, they'd get a free trip out of it because you'd cover gas, and if they had something they needed to do in town at the same time, it's a win-win. So at least throw the idea out there. It's all how you put it out there, I guess. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you don't want to come across as desperate. I need to save $20. Can you give me a ride? Yeah, nobody wants to do that. But they might just be bored and looking for an excuse to get out too. So you never know. At least run it by somebody. So as you did talking half the price, you can buy them coffee and still save money.
Yeah. See now, Jason says my F-150 4x4 5.4 liter gets 18-ish miles to the gallon. I wish mine did. Mine's not even 5.4. I think it's the next size down? Was that 4.8 or 4.6? But it's a 97. So it's old. So it runs great, but it's just not good on mileage.
I can drive your trip back and forth to the doctor's on 4 gallons of fuel and have fuel left in the tank.
What in your truck?
In 4-wheel drive with the air conditioning at full blast.
Huh.
Yeah, you're talking like what, $6 a gallon now? So it's probably still around the same price in the end for him.
Versus $5.50 for gas.
Maybe it's over $1. It's like $1.50 difference here. So I don't know what the difference is for Rick.
Actually, I put $40 in it today, and I paid $5.09.
So at $1.50 a gallon more, 4 gallons. That's $6. Math for Marines. $6 for $6. I get there on 4. But it takes you 8 more gallons to get there, even at $1.50 less a gallon. Simple math says
8 more gallons. No, it only take him.
He said 10 gallons. Okay, so 6 more gallons. So 6 more gallons, even at $1.50 less, it's still.
Yeah. Okay. Defense Dad says I sold those back in the day. The 4.6 got worse mileage than the 5.4 due to the lack of power. Wouldn't surprise me.
And technically, I think Rick would be using less than 10 gallons. Because, at say 15, he's looking at 4 gallons for 60 miles. But that's round trip. So 8 gallons. So it'd be more along the lines of 8 than 10. But still, it's still fairly close, though.
Yeah. But, what I'm saying is it's at the time when I bought the car, and ever since I had it, the gas hasn't been this kind of price. So I really didn't, to me, I was happy with what he did, But when the price got up like that, it's got a 28-gallon tank on it. Mine does. It's enormous. I wouldn't want to fill it up.
I love having a big tank, especially if you got long trips and stuff. But it seems like it doesn't matter what. Maybe it's just me. I don't know, but it doesn't matter what you're driving. If it's a truck or car, standard class vehicle, seems like the best you're going to get is 400 miles to a gallon. All right, 400 miles to a tank. And most are like 350. You know what I mean? So, obviously some cars have a 10 or 11 gallon tank versus trucks with 25 or whatever, 20, on up. But, but it kind of sucks. I wish I could kind of fill up, like get a double gas tank, and so I could do like 800 miles without stopping for fuel. But I don't know. I guess it don't work that way.
Yeah, you're right though. I'm trying to think. When I drove from Rhode Island to here, I think, around 350 miles, I had to fill up again. You know,
What's your Squid?
It wasn't empty, but it was getting low. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Usually about that 350 mark, you don't want to push it anymore when you're running down the highway. So, what about you, Squib? What are you getting per tank?
21.5 gallons, 600 miles.
Son of a bitch.
Damn, I think you need to buy me. I think you need to buy me a truck, Squib. You know.
So that's not bad.
I just bought a fuel filter for it. That was $75. I'm like, wow.
What truck you got?
An American truck.
I know, and you bought it brand new, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I wasn't predicting the fuel prices going up when I got it, but I did know that I was going to be doing more road trips because over the years I started to do more road trips because of family vacations, but also because of the YouTube thing. So I got something that was set up for longer distance. I could still off-road and hunt with it and stuff like that. And it's performed better than what I thought. Now, if I had dropped another 10, I could have got the half ton with the 3-liter, and that engine's supposed to be better. And I'm willing to bet, even with the weight, it would probably get some pretty good mileage. So, if I had to go back and do it again, would I have gotten a half ton? Maybe. It'd be harder to park, though. You've got to have a truck because you carry your scooter on you've got like a hoist for that thing, right?
Well, no, I got a like a platform thing I drive it up to that goes on into the hitch at the back. But you know, I'm trying to get away from taking it with me now. I'm trying to go without that. Yeah, but it's on the back of the truck. Let's put it that way. And that the scooter weighs. It's no lightweight. Let's put that with the batteries in it. But anyway, what model do you have? Is what I want to know.
Colorado.
Okay. All right. American made. You sure it wasn't made down in Mexico?
No, it was built in Kansas. The motor's made in Thailand, but
okay.
Truck's assembled in Kansas.
Yeah. Plus,
or Missouri, not Kansas, Missouri.
Plus, being new, you got a warranty as well.
Yeah, but it ain't new anymore. It's over 2 years old, so it's used now.
It's been 2 years since you got that? Damn. Doesn't time fly?
Look, wait, man, Squid Drive, that's like 5.5 years.
I'm in the business of making parts that go on brand new cars. I'm going to encourage everybody I know to buy a new one. And if they don't, so be it. But I will tell you this, even though I don't like paying up to $6 a gallon for diesel, it's not really affecting me as bad as it is other people. So, I mean, when I went from a V8 gas engine pickup truck to a straight 6 diesel pickup truck that was bigger, my fuel mileage went up. And then when I went to a smaller diesel that still makes a lot of power for its size, my fuel mileage went up. And I was already used to all the extra maintenance that comes with the diesel, because there is extra maintenance involved. So if you're willing to do it or pay for it, the real downside is when you go to some podunk town and they don't have a gas station with diesel. But it's okay, because even on vapor, you can make it to the next podunk town. It's not for everybody. They're not loud and smelly like they used to be. And you got to run that diesel exhaust fluid, which I'm paying about $20 a gallon for that. And on the highway, I'll burn it a lot faster than the same distance in the city. But other than that, it works. But I just took lessons learned from the previous trucks and just applied them to this one. That's why I said if I had maybe sprung a little bit more money, maybe I would have got the half ton.
Wow. Made a good choice anyway, by the sounds of it. Oh.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a choice on his side. I would like to know the bottom line, like how it breaks out versus and you add the extra maintenance, the fuel filters, the additives, granted you get over on mileage a little bit, but all in all, the same truck and a gasoline engine, what's going to cost more to maintain through its life? How are you going to make out better, I guess, with average drivers? So it's not somebody that, is driving coast to coast, that on a regular, just average life. I'm curious, is a diesel actually still break out better, or is it about even, or in the end, do you spend so much more on maintenance that even paying extra gas, it broke even or might have been cheaper? That's a lot of information. I don't know. You got an opinion on that, Squib? If you had the same truck and gas, you think it would be cheaper to maintain for the life of it, or about the same, or too many details to really be honest?
If I go back to gas, it's because the wife wants a truck and she doesn't want a diesel. That's about the only way I'm going to get a gas engine truck ever again. I'm not saying they're bad. It's just for what I do. She doesn't like the idea of going into town and there's no diesel pump, or there's one at either end. There's 10 islands, and the diesel's on either end, and there's always some dickhead over there with a small gas engine car using the pump that's got the diesel on it. You got to wait your turn. So if we get her a truck, she's probably going to want a gas engine, just more or less for the convenience. But otherwise, though, for what I do, I don't see any sort of benefit from it. For other people, some people, their bottom line is get me the cheapest truck possible.
Well, what do you think would be more affordable over the life period, the diesel or the gasoline? Same truck.
If you keep the truck 10 years, the people that say as soon as you buy a new car, it depreciates, you lose money. Well, yeah, if you turn right around and sell it like a dumbass, but if you get 10 years out of it, you don't lose. You just don't. I don't care how many years somebody's had as a car salesman, new or used. If you buy a new vehicle and you keep it a minimum of 10 years, you don't lose. Now, where you will start losing is when you're sinking as much money into it as a new vehicle payment. At that point, what's the purpose? So that's why I got rid of my old truck. It was a great truck, and even with things falling off of it and breaking apart, that thing will still smash through any construction zone and go off-roading like nobody's business. But it was costing me thousands of dollars every year to just keep it, where it would start and run. So with that diesel, I would say that, when you're getting into the 15, 16, 17, 20-year-old diesel and you're replacing a $3,000 fuel pump, at that point, you might want to say, okay, this isn't a good, but it doesn't, you don't have the $3,000 fuel pump normally go bad while the thing, is 10 years or younger, unless you're really running miles on it. I had Chrysler replace a fuel pump for free on the truck while it was under warranty, right? They did a few things while it was under warranty. So yeah, with a diesel, you're going to have 2 or 3 pumps. Whereas with a gas, you're only going to have 1. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, a diesel probably isn't, like if you're going to get a used diesel, probably wouldn't be a good idea, because some of that stuff you're going to have to take it to the shop because you're going to need specialty tools. For the cost of the tools, is it even worth doing a repair?
Yeah. Oh, I got to.
So probably for the guy that works on his own stuff here and there, the gasoline might be the more affordable way to go over the period.
If they're going to buy it new and keep it past a warranty, or if they're going to buy it used, which I don't encourage anybody to buy a used vehicle of any sort unless it's a toy, because you're just buying somebody else's problem. They're getting rid of it for a reason, people. It's not like a used gun. Used guns are kind of a little bit, well, even used guns, sometimes they're getting rid of it for a reason, right? Yeah, for gas, it would probably be easier for the shade tree.
Yeah. Oh, the gun snob said, I'm not sure about the little trucks like Squib drives, but when it comes to HD truck, diesel ones have a way higher resale value, so that helps offset the cost.
Oh yeah, Blue Book value on my truck, my 1-ton, when it was 16 years old, was almost $20,000. 16-year-old truck worth $20,000. Yeah, I was like, wow. So.
All right. You know, one of these days I'm going to have to get a new vehicle, I guess. I mean, as I said, mine's coming up. What?
Well,
30 years now or older. You know?
If you're going to stay living out in the country and you have to drive to the city more and more for the doctor, or even if you're going to have somebody drive you in your vehicle to take you to the doctor, you might want to look at something that's going to get you fuel economy. Maybe not necessarily a diesel, but something that's going to get you fuel economy. And you also need to look at the fact that where you're at, you're going to have snow, or you might be going down dirt roads or something. And you might want to go ahead and keep the off-road capability with a four-wheel drive and some decent tires. So those are things that you got to consider when you're looking at that. And if you're looking at the payment and the higher insurance, but you're looking at lower maintenance initially while you're making those payments, do you really need to get a new set of brakes or tires or a new muffler? No, you don't need none of that crap. If you do, it's covered under warranty. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of judgment.
Oh yeah, you're right. So, but I mean, besides the gas mileage, and my truck, is starting to rust because it was living up there in New England for 20 odd years. But the actual motor itself is pretty good still. So I mean, it's got less than 130,000 miles on it, and those are true miles. Because I knew the guy that owned it before I bought it, and he didn't use it. I mean, yeah, he actually drove it around, and he was a lousy driver because there's a few dings and scratches on it when I got it. But the actual but he took it into the dealer for every service that it had before I got it. So it was well maintained.
Yeah, to me, I don't really necessarily look at mileage, but I do buy used, never bought new. I just feel it's a better deal and I work on my own stuff. So Squibb said, people get rid of cars for a reason, and I would agree with him on that. A lot of people do. They if it was perfect, they'd hold on to it for some reason. But some people's idea, they take it to a shop and the shop tells them it needs, the head gasket blown, it needs all this or that. If you're looking at shop prices, yeah, it's probably not worth it. But if you don't mind putting the time in, you can do that for a fraction of the cost yourself. Go through the whole vehicle, you're good to go. Check factory recommendations. So that's more what I'm concerned on is maintenance of a vehicle. Timing belts, things like this, what's been serviced, what hasn't, because you can get a low mileage vehicle that's just nobody's, all they did was put gas in it. You know what I mean? Drove it till it made noise, took it in, got that part fixed. And that's not your best vehicle. Or you can get one that's been used highly, but it's maintained and loved. And honestly, I would rather trust that vehicle. So, mileage can be deceptive, and all vehicles, you can look it up, Google it. All vehicles have factory recommendations. You probably know because every time you take it to a shop, they give you a list of stuff that, is supposed to be addressed at some point. Most people overlook some of that stuff. A lot of that stuff is debatable, but it's, 30,000 miles, you should flush your coolant system. Like, there's some of this stuff you really should do for the longevity of your parts. They just last longer. So people that take their vehicles to the shop and have everything done that they recommend, a dealership especially, you got a pretty safe bet. Not saying I wouldn't check everything out, to give everything the sniff test, everything, but you got a fair shot to get something halfway decent to get time out of. Both my vehicles are over 20 years old, and I'd hop in either one today and cross the country in them. And we have family that has new cars that want to drive with us for an hour away because they don't trust their vehicles. So, it's just kind of different strokes for different folks.
Hey.
But if you don't want to mess with stuff, I'd take Squibb's route. If you don't mind paying a little bit, you don't want to mess with nothing, everything's covered, whatever. But I do feel it's cheaper if you're able and don't mind putting in the time yourself with.
No, you better learn. You better learn how to fix electric engines.
Yeah,
that's what we're going. That's what we're going to.
Oh yeah, I'll start rewrapping coils.
Yeah,
if they can do it over there in India and stuff with no shoes and sandals, then I got this.
Yeah.
Start stripping wire from the telephone pole. Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Now, what gets me is maybe I missed something, but this is to do with this, lack of a better term, idiot in the White House, where this morning's headline was the oil companies need to start producing more to help with the price of fuel. I mean, or he's going to take some emergency action or whatever against them. Now, isn't that what they've been waiting for him to say do it?
I don't even listen.
Or did I miss something? Or did I miss something in that?
It's positioning, probably. He's trying to act, it's a problem. Everybody knows it's a problem. So now he's got to act like he's trying to do something about it. Even though he's the one that pretty much he created damn problem to begin with. It's typical government.
I know. I mean,
create a problem, become the savior. That's.
Oh yeah. I mean, keep blaming it on Putin is a bunch of crap too, because we were independent. We didn't need any outside help. We were producing enough to cover our needs. So he caused the problem, but I'm just preaching to the choir here. So now hang on, what's happened here? What in the hell? I lost my
Talk about a problem. $26 to get my suit dry clean. That's a damn problem. Boy, prices have gone up everywhere.
What are you doing wearing a suit?
Hey, business.
No. A suit.
Rick, don't you know it's proper etiquette to show up in front of the judge wearing a suit?
That's funny.
Or he needs a suit because maybe he's going to be going in front of a preacher.
Neither would be correct.
Yeah. You sure? She might have that all arranged.
There could be a religious person there, but it's not a marriage or court thing.
You'll be going. Well, if you're not religious, then you just go in front of the justice of the peace and get married. So.
I had a real estate agent conduct my first ceremony.
Oh well. I just can't picture you in a suit. I don't know why. I just can't.
Yeah. I don't know.
Now
been told I dress up well.
I mean, just hope this suit's in date. How often do you wear one? Yeah.
As least as I can.
But I mean, if you just get a nice suit, that's nice. I mean, do they really go out of style?
I'm told yes.
You think so?
Yeah.
Hey, you wait long enough, it come back in style.
Maybe. I think there's like a general. I just had this conversation the other day because was talking about the guy that tailored mine or whatever was basically had to school me because I was under the impression kind of a suit's a suit, but no. They have like the basic suit, kind of, which I forgot what they call it. I don't know if it was like classic or what. And then you have what's in style now. So to the untrained eye, they look fairly similar. It's all about the cut and fit from what I was told. So that's why the other day I asked Squib, like, how can he wear the same dress pants inside waistband or outside waistband without the pants being sloppy? Because mine, like I said, yeah, I basically got to take a breath to get into. They're freaking like perfectly fit. So I got issues putting my damn wallet in my pocket. So
Yeah,
it's out. I don't know.
the gun
But
snob says Rob is griping over having to pay his $50,000 suit dry cleaned. You know, you're along the lines of your buddy there up at the NRA, aren't you? You want to go to the same trailer?
No.
You know.
No, I went to the nice suit place asking about a suit. Asked they had anything on sale for like $100, and the guy told me to turn around. The store I want's down the street. So I've got a medium grade, I guess.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I don't even own a suit anymore. I can't remember the last time I wore one.
I think every man should have a couple. It's one of them things. It's like a lawnmower suit. I mean, you got business occasions, weddings, funerals, court. People invite you, drag you to other places you don't want to go. I mean, there's a lot of times. It's in my opinion, especially with business, it's always better to be overdressed than under.
Yeah, you're right. But that's why that's how I get out of a lot of stuff. I don't own a suit. I can't go.
You should get one. But half the times I got to deal with something formal. I'm tend to be dressed better than the other people.
Yeah, but
people do treat you differently. Like I can tell you, like,
it cost me a fortune. I got to go to Omar the tent maker.
Yeah. Look around. Sometimes places do deals and stuff. I mean, if you're not using it much or anything corporate, you don't have to get crazy about it. But
yeah, I mean, you see, I can't. I mean, what I'm saying is, if I went and bought a suit, I'll be lucky if I wore one once every few years. So then, the last suit I had is basically, I still got it. Actually, it's hanging. I say I don't have one. It is. I do have a suit hanging in my what closet or what do you want to call it, but it's it doesn't fit anymore. Let's put it that way. Because I had it for years, and I could lose weight to get back in it, I guess. But then again, it's going out of style. To me, mine was just a classic cut. That's why I said, do they really ever go out of style? Long as you're not buying, back in the day, back in the 70s when there were bell bottoms, or like today, skinny pants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Kind of depends what you're doing too. I mean, you living out in the country, this and that. I mean, it might be a wedding, a church thing, some type of event or whatever. I mean, it's not too big of a deal.
Hey,
you get into like a city and people start getting real judgmental about your stuff, and like anything, they'll size you up as you're coming through the door.
Go to a wedding here. You put on a brand new pair of overalls.
Yep. Well, you could be the guy that comes in dressed to impress. So I can tell you, like, it goes a long way. Like subconsciously, even I'll walk through a place where maybe questionable should be there, and if I'm dressed up, people hold the door for me. I could go to a place like that in my work clothes, and I won't make it through the first corridor. So it does kind of project authority or something. I don't
Oh
know what it
yeah, I
is.
mean it all comes down to first impressions.
Yeah, you get treated better wearing a suit. I'll tell you
First
that.
impressions do count. You know, they really do. So, I agree with you. I mean, back in the day, I would wear a suit, but the last few years, the last what, 7, 8 years, you know, I've become not a slob, but I just don't wear a suit. I mean, I still have a nice pair of dress pants and a nice shirt I'll wear. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Some casual wear is
Yeah,
always
yeah.
good. So, yeah, what a lot of times happens to me is people tell me like, "Oh, it's formal, get dressed up." You show up and like half the people are wearing, not even dress casual at best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got jeans and a polo, and I'm like, well, what the hell? So
Yeah, that's
kind
dressed
of
up
what
for
happened the
the.
last time I wore my suit. So I got it all jacked up for nothing. It wasn't dirty. It was just creased all over the damn place, having to change in a bathroom and, be Batman or all that crap. And it's just ridiculous. So, and then suit sitting in the car all funky for the evening. So by the time I got it back out and put together, it wasn't pretty. So.
Oh, okay. All right. So anyway, we're almost out of time here. So is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Besides your suits and your trucks?
Well, you're talking, I mean, it's supposed to be disabilities. I can state, I don't have too much information, but we kind of spoke vehicles as well. You have that tailgate ramp hitch deal. I know several people, myself, some of my customers that have the actual winch in their minivan, things like this. So I would state, as far as appreciation and stuff with vehicles, I would hinder, obviously be careful or speak with your dealer about adding, lifts and things like that into your newer vehicles. So most of the customers I've dealt with have bought used vehicles because they doesn't seem like they want a warranty even when they take them to professional shops to have either the ramps installed or the lifts put in. So if you're trying to get handicapped accessible vehicles, to my knowledge, used seems to be the way you're pretty much forced. I don't know, like maybe Wheeled and Well Armed was on here, he would have a better idea. But they may have newer vehicles that you can get from the factory, so it's going to be warranted. But like I said, to my knowledge, they don't. So
No.
That might be something to consider. And another reason maybe not to go with new if that's the case, because it would kind of suck to get a new vehicle and, first week you're scheduling an appointment to get a ramp put into it and it voids out your warranty or something. So I do know they
I never
kind of
really thought about it, to be honest with you.
What's that?
I actually I never even thought about that angle.
Yeah. So it's something to consider. So especially with speaking of the topic of with disabilities or whatnot. So in auto,
yeah. I mean, like my carrier that I put into my hitch on the back of my truck. I mean, I'm like you. I went cheap. I'm cheap school. You know what I'm saying? It's. I mean, I think it cost me $150. I think the actual thing itself, and I've had it quite a few years, but I've either got to go see, my buddy I go shooting at. He's a jack of all trades when it comes to vehicles and shit. It might. I mean, what happens now when it goes like this now? It's very loose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not hitting the ground or anything, but it definitely, like when I go to drive up on it, or I don't drive it, I walk it up. Right? It goes down, then as the weight gets up there, it flips down the other way. Then once I get it level, it levels itself out. So it either needs welding or I need to buy a new one. But I said I don't use it as much as I used to anymore.
Yeah.
So I mean, the actual thing's not on the back of my truck right now. I mean,
I tried
it's not heavy either. It only weighs about 50 pounds. So
I'd try some composite shims if you if you're looking for an idea that's fairly cheap and affordable. So it might not be 100%, but if you get them in there good, they should stick. It's
Yeah.
basically like any kind of shim, but composite is like a plastic type shim or whatever as well. So therefore, it'll hopefully be easier to remove or whatnot. But if you kind of slide those in around your receiver or whatnot, give a little tap in, that should take up some of the slack that's in there.
Yeah.
And if you lose it, they're I don't know, you'd probably get a pack for $3, so it's not anything major. But that would help a little bit with some of that rocking just to fill that space.
Well, what I was looking for was is maybe because my truck sits because it's a 4-wheel drive, it sits damn high. So if I put the tailgate down, what I was originally looking for was just some ramps and just run it up onto the bed of my truck, my cart. But I don't. That's not going to work because I wouldn't be able to ride it up it. So I would have to walk it up, but then I have to figure out a way to climb.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
You know what I'm saying? It's too much awkward work to do it.
For the cost of those Rams, you can get a truck bed boom lift from Harbor Freight. So
well, that was another thing I was thinking.
That way you can hold on to the side, and then granted, there's a couple models. I'd recommend getting a powered one where it's just like a remote that you hit the switch and it'll up down. So
I thought of one of those too. I wouldn't mind that one.
Yeah, they're a little bit more, especially powered with no cover. Like in a minivan, those are common, but in the bed of a truck, you'd have to have something to make it waterproof in a sense. Make sure it's covered on the top, the electrical aspect. But needless to say, I'd recommend something along those lines. That way, you're not risking, because I can tell you, loading 4-wheelers and all types of stuff, ramps get iffy. So, when things get wet and all that type of stuff, and if you're not in good shape as it is, the last thing you want to do is screw around on a ramp to the back of your pickup. So, you end up killing yourself. So, if you had a perfect little dip in your yard and it was easy to load up in the place you were going or something, but those steep grades are definite problems. There's reasons there's, codes on handicap ramps for that same purpose, and they have rails. So you're trying to go up on the back with no rails. Not good.
Yeah. You're right. But get some sort of electric hoist in the back of my truck. That would work beautiful. I can just lift it up there, swing it across, and I'm good to go.
Yep. It's an easy tap in right down by the usually driver's side. In the lower, the harness will run back, your fuel tank, all that stuff, and it hits your power lights, or your lights, all that stuff. So you can tap in there for power. I mean, if you get the power one and have somebody, so should be fairly simple and quick.
I said my buddy could do that because I said I mean, when it comes to vehicles, he is so. He's even told me the other day. He said, Ricky, he said, if you ever break down, just call me. He said, I'll come and tow you home and fix your truck for you.
Those are friends to have.
Yeah. So there we go. But then again, he is a distant relative too. His grandmother was a Mitchell.
How many cars does this guy have?
How many does he have?
Yeah, he's probably got a couple, right?
He's got 1, 2. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. And his wife's car, so that's 5.
That's more than enough. If this guy's close, why don't you just hit him up, see if he can borrow one of his cars to run out there to your doctor? Seriously?
Well, no. See, he's got a big old Ram truck.
Oh yeah, well, you don't want to do that.
He's got a Challenger with a.
Don't want to do that. Well, you could have fun, but it's not going to save you gas money.
Then he's got it. Then he's got his dragster race car.
Well, damn.
Then he's got his. Oh, I know what I could take, but I have to take the dog with me. He's got a minivan that he bought just for the dog to take on trips. You know, because the dog is a big old Labrador and it's getting old, and the dog can get sliding back door easy.
So that's the dog house.
Yeah, so he bought that truck especially for the dog. I'm trying to let's see. Then his wife's got a nice vehicle. I can't remember what it is now, and he's got one other, and I can't remember what it is. But yeah, besides the what you call it, he's got he's got a side by side to go around his property on. He's got a motorcycle too.
I mean, if there's a practical option that would save you money, I'm sure he wouldn't care if you explained why. Obviously, parked your truck at his place like collateral, and borrowed his to run there and back. So.
Oh yeah.
Probably wouldn't be a big deal.
No.
Squib would go in his truck.
Yeah.
I bet you he wouldn't. He'd be like, fuck Target. He'd be like, screw you, Rick.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, he's a good old boy though. But anyway, it's 8 o'clock, guys. I am gonna call it because I'm getting hungry. Oh, didn't feel like eating earlier. I know I don't normally eat after the show, but when it's hot like this, I don't eat. That's why it should stay hot like this all the time, because I eat less. So. Oh, I had a salad down at the diner.
All right.
At 9:45 this morning, I was eating a salad.
Nice.
Instead of going for a breakfast, instead of going for a greasy lunch, had a salad.
Good. Good on you, man.
There we go. So I'm hungry now. So I'm more likely me. I can eat a burger anytime. I could eat burgers 7 days a week. So I'm going to throw
burgers yesterday.
I can throw burgers on. I'm going to go throw a couple of burgers on the grill. I got to get a new grill. The inside of mine's all burnt out now. It's only a little table model I got, but I want one of them nice, what they call hot plates or griddles, the flat surface. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a cheap one because I am a cheap bastard. I'm going to use gas. I mean, to me, using charcoal on the grill is the best way to go. But when I'm throwing 2 burgers on the grill,
yeah, you just want to be quick and be simple.
Yeah. I don't want to waste all that charcoal.
Yeah.
So
yeah. We've had the conversations here. I got a gas one I got to pick up. It's over at another place, but because I'm a charcoal guy myself, love charcoal, but lately burgers just taste better on charcoal grill. And,
they do. But what I'm saying,
burning up so much charcoal just for a couple, 2-3 burgers don't make no sense. Like in the time it takes, I
totally agree with you.
Yeah,
anyway, Squib, you got any closing plugs or shout outs?
No.
Well, I appreciate you being here. I know you're at work, so I really do appreciate it. All right. Rob, you got anything? New York Outcast.
Sure. I tell everybody to make sure you eat a salad out there once in a while. Don't be an adult kid and complain about the green stuff. Eat some. It's good for you. R&L displays. Check that out. Get a display for your rifle for your babies. And other than that, I'd say have a great day. Thanks for joining us. If you have kids that drive, tell them to check their stuff regularly because you don't want to have a day like mine. But
teach your kids how to change a tire.
Yeah. But anywho, other than that, have a great day.
All right. And by the way, anybody goes to rnldisplays.com, when you get the checkout, type in Rick's Life and get 15% discount. Just a little thing for you guys. You know. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to call it quits. And go get something to eat, a couple of burgers on the grill, and relax for the rest of the evening. I appreciate you all being here. And I will be back on Saturday. Oh, what I want to know on the quiz for the swag pack this week, I want to know the movies that John Wayne died in. Isn't that what I asked for? I believe. I want to know the names and how many. I definitely want the number on how many movies it was that he died in. And I can tell you there was 5 movies in which his character died in the background, off screen, or his fate is left ambiguous. But I want the ones that he died in. How many and the names of them. So there you go. And I got it from Google. So that's the one I'm going with. So I will get it into me by Saturday, being for the swag pack. So there you go. Oh, yeah, got that out of the way. So I'll be back on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, the only time zone that matters. And we will see you all then. So good night, everybody. Good night, Sabrina.